Welcome back to the Snod Pod with John Snodgrass, where we're talking real estate, home renovation, mortgages, and beyond. I've got Matt Kowalske of Kowalske Kitchen Bath out of Delafield back with me for kind of a second episode. How did you become a household name in the area?
But it also has to do with our business model, which is design build, right? We're not a general contractor. We self-perform more than most of our peers do. Obviously, we have to hire out electricians, which happens to be my brother, which helps, and plumbers and specialty trades, right, that require their own permit. But beyond that, we're self-performing most of the work, so we have more control over the schedule, the quality, and the outcome overall. You know, the people don't realize how collaborative these projects need to be in order to be successful, right? So that collaborative approach is kind of the base for getting those consistent results over and over again.
Got it. That kind of leads into my next question. So if I come to you guys and I'm just like, all right, I'm going with Kowalske Kitchen and Bath, sign on the, dotted line, what is the next step? I remember, I guess I'll let you answer that question, but remember meeting with the designer. Right.
Yeah. So starts with majority of the people filling out the form online. Within a business day, one of our lead designers will reach out, schedule a consultation with you, come out, take a look at the house. They'll invite you back into our showroom, where we'll go over kind of rough budget numbers, right? Just throwing out round numbers. Project's going to be $100,000 plus minus 15%. From there, we ask for a 5% retainer. And, in this example, we'd use $100,000, we'd ask for $5,000. That allows us to do design development, collaborate with the rest of the team, and get to a final to the penny number, right? Okay. So we're figuring the job down to the last screw. And then it's just a matter of executing the agreement and kind of moving forward from there.
So going back to my project, so then we did a second project with you guys. We did kitchen and ended up kind of going first floor. Mm-hmm. It's which sometimes happens when you get into the project. You expand. But what I was really impressed with was your director of design, Christina. We had told her what we were looking for, and then she got back to us, a couple days later with the design that we had, kind of had in our heads. But then she came up with like a second design that we weren't expecting, and it was really awesome, and it really made us have to make a tough decision.
Right.
And so we're, again, just impressed with that creativity, if that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Are you guys trying to do that on every project, or is it just, you leave it up to your designer to say, you know what, hey, that customer's got a good thing going there, or you know what, in my mind, I guess, how often does that happen, and do you encourage that with your designers? Or?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, they're by nature, they're creative. And they come up with they can walk into a room and see things that nobody else can, right? And I think the challenge with that is, sometimes people have an idea that they're kind of stuck on. Like maybe they've talked to some other designers at one point, or maybe they had a design done at some point that they like. But yeah, we always encourage people to just be open-minded, right? And you say no, it's not gonna be offended, right?
Yeah, right.
But if you give them just kind of the freedom to be creative, it's amazing what they can come up with.
Yeah,
mind-blowing stuff.
So I mean that's kind of the approach we took. Again, we had our idea, but I mean we were open to listening, and I would definitely recommend be open to that. Would you say majority of people are open to that, or some people are like, hey, this is what I want, and that's it, or is there a balance to that, or?
Yeah, there is. I wouldn't say an overwhelming majority is one way or another.
Okay.
I think what happens more often than not is it's a combination of the two.
Okay.
Right. I mean, some people see that other option and they're just blown away, and it's a no-brainer for them. So everybody's a little bit different.
Okay. And then so designer's done with the job, and then at that point, hey, we're scheduling the build date or date.
Yeah.
And then so the designer kind of steps away and hands that off to production manager.
Yep. So there's a lot to unpack there, and we skipped kind of some of the.
Okay.
So like how we assign start dates and things like that, right? And it's super important, especially with how busy everybody is, right?
Yeah.
But during that retainer process, we give our clients a to not exceed start date, right? So we're filming this now here end of June, right? So our to not exceed start dates, if you were to retain us today, would be sometime, I think October or November. Right. And that's something we pride ourselves on, is like, if we give you a to not exceed start date, we're not exceeding that date. We're going to start on that date or prior to.
Got it.
Right.
It's happening.
Yeah. Because there's, and it's that was like one of the most challenging things for me during COVID. And we had to kind of like refigure that whole process, right? Like you have all these people in the queue, right? We have all these retainers. Mm-hmm. How are we going to, in like the fairest way possible, make sure that it's like first come, first serve, right?
Sure, yeah.
So we spent a ton of time kind of figuring that out. And it works really well. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but it's an important part of that process is people are putting down a ton of money. Right. And I think the least we can do is provide them some peace of mind with like, when is this project going to start?
Yeah.
Right. Like, what's the latest possible day this could start?
Yeah.
So
kind of going into that, so we kind of figure out the start date, design's done.
Yep.
And then you hand it off to production manager Byron.
Yep.
So I guess I'm thinking, I feel like the phrase supply chain has been used in the media so much. I mean, so in your business, did you have supply chain issues? And then I guess, how do you set expectations up front? With projects, because hey, it's, there's no more trees in Canada. The lumber's gone.
Right. Well, I mean, you can see the fires now, right?
Yeah,
so there's going to be, lumber is going to be moving in pricing again. But, that's a good question. So supply chain was a disaster, right? I mean, no other way to say it.
Yeah. Is it getting back to normal?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay.
Much better. So that was difficult, but we have project coordinators, which we consider part of the production team, right? And Byron, as the production manager, kind of oversees that whole function of the business. But so when someone signs a contract for us, the coordinators are on it right away, ordering product, making sure the square footages are there, making sure everything's going to be ready to go. So when we do start, it's local, right? Like it might not be at the job site, but it's at a warehouse somewhere. It's at our facility in Delafield. We also have a facility in Milwaukee, where we stage things. And that was something, that we continue that is something that we continue to put a lot of resources towards. Right? Is like making sure that product is here, it's accurate, and it's when we need it.
Yeah, trying to stay on time.
I mean, there's nothing worse than having a customer wait 6 months to find out that their backsplash tile is running late.
Right.
And we want to be months out in front of that. Yeah,
got it. So we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to shoot one more, a short one. There was a couple more questions I had for you, but Matt Kowalske Kitchen Bath out of Delafield, home renovation company. This is the Snod Pod with John Snodgrass, your mortgage resource, where we're talking real estate, home renovation, mortgages, and beyond. We'll be right back with Matt for one more episode.